There are so many women who have gone to the altar on their wedding day and something inside of them said, this does not feel quite right. Can you imagine? Is that you who went to the altar and had those feelings yourself? There are a lot of people out there and they don't know what to do about that feeling. They're still in their marriage and they've had this for a really long time. At the time, they didn't know what to do with it. They shelved it, or they thought it was a really shallow reason why they didn't get out of it at the time. Well, I am Lisa McCallum, and I am your relationship specialist. This is the place where you need to be getting advice on relationships, divorce, marriage, and dating. I'm giving you some practical advice so that you can have the best relationship with your partner, but most importantly, that relationship within yourself. Are you one of these people who went to the altar and had that feeling inside of you that something just doesn't feel right? Or, you know what, I can get out of this if I have to. Because there are a lot of people still dealing with these feelings. And they've been hanging on to it for a really long time and don't know what to do with it. And it could be that you're really, really afraid to tell your spouse. And naturally so, because what would you say to them? That I didn't have it for you? Or I wasn't attracted to you? Who knows what those feelings are inside of you? And do you still know right now what the reason was, what the feeling was? Is it something that you've been shelving for a long time and you haven't brought it to the surface? You haven't dealt with it. It's a really, really tough one. It's not easy to have that come to the surface and then be able to speak it. So when are you going to talk about it? What are you going to do with those feelings? Now, there are a lot of reasons why you had those feelings. And that could be because you were trying to please your parents. You were trying to please religious beliefs that have been brought down to you from generation to generation. You grew up in a certain religion and a certain faith. Your parents expected a lot of you. Religion and faith mean a lot to them. Maybe it's your friends. Maybe you decided to get married because all your friends were getting married and it's time for you to get married. You didn't want to feel left out. You wanted to be included with everyone else. But no matter what, the reasons that you had at the time were really good reasons for marrying this person. And those were the decisions that you made at the time. But now it's time to actually own your truth and admit what those reasons are. So, can you sit down and be honest and truthful with yourself once and for all? What those reasons were that you didn't feel quite right? And secondly, are those reasons still present in your life right now? And is there a way to fix it or not? Maybe it's something that cannot be fixed. And lastly, what are you going to do about it? And what I'm saying is that you've got to open up those feelings once and for all with someone. If it can't be your spouse right at the moment, then it's got to be with someone that you trust and tell them those reasons. Because it will feel so good to you. It's such a huge burden to get off of your shoulders. So you're admitting it to yourself, and you're admitting it to someone else. And then thirdly, what action are you going to take? Are you going to stay in your marriage with this reason inside of you and live out the rest of your life with that? Or are you going to move on, own your truth, admit your truth, tell your spouse your truth, and take action in that direction? It's not easy either way, but it's a decision and an action step that you're going to have to take. And if you are really confused and this is driving you crazy, then go and check out my webinar at doistayordoigo.com. And in there, you're going to discover the answers that you need once and for all, so that you're freeing yourself of this tremendous burden and you're freeing someone else of it as well. And I want you to have a really great day. Don't beat yourself up at all for this, because the guilt is a really difficult thing to hold on to. Just forgive yourself, because you know what? Like I said, you made this decision at the time, and it's all right. There's nothing, absolutely nothing, to feel shallow about for what those reasons were at the time. And you can change it right now and have an incredible future for yourself. So have a great day, and we'll talk to you later, okay?